Jumpstart friends, my name is Alyssa, and today I'm going to read a special story to you. So the message prompt for tonight is, today we will read about a boy who plays outside on a windy day. And the vocab words to go along with our story are blur, which is something you cannot see clearly. So in this picture, we see people swinging on the swing, but we can't exactly see it clear because it's blurry, because they're moving. So that means that we can't see them clearly. Another word we're going to learn is clothespin, which is a clip for hanging laundry on a clothesline. So you've received some of these in your bags before, and that's what a clothespin looks like. Our next word is ripe, which means it's ready to eat. So in this picture, we see a banana, and it looks yellow. It's ripe, which means that it's ready for us to eat. Another word is whisper, which means spoke softly. So we see in this picture, two girls are whispering to each other. That means they're talking super quiet so that no one else can hear them. And our last word, we have two more words. This word is afraid, which means to feel fear or be scared of something. So here we see this little girl, she looks scared, so she's afraid. She's scared of something. And our last word is frustrated, to feel angry or upset about not being able to do something. So here we see a little boy and he's frustrated, maybe because he's not able to do something. So now we're going to read the story. And this story is called Gilberto in the Wind, and it was written by Marie Hall Etz. She's both the author and the illustrator, which means that she wrote the words and drew the pictures. So in this story, we're going to read about Gilberto, and he's going to be playing outside in the wind. And the wind does some things. Let's read to find out what the wind does to Gilberto. I hear wind whispering at the door. You, he whispers, you. So I get my balloon and I run out to play. So remember that we said whispered meant to talk softly. So the wind is whispering to Gilberto. At first, wind is gentle and just floats my balloon around in the air. But then, with a jerk, he grabs it away and carries it up to the top of a tree. Wind, oh wind, I say, blow it back to me, please. But he won't. He just laughs and whispers, yoo. So here we see Gilberto. He was flying a balloon, and then the wind whooshed it away. So now it's stuck in the tree. I wonder how he's going to get it down. Wind loves to play with the wash on the line. He blows the pillow slips into balloons and shakes the sheets and twists the apron strings. And he pulls out all the clothespins that he can. Then he tries on the clothes, though he knows they're too small. So we talked about a clothespin, which is something, it's a clip for hanging laundry on the clothesline. So here we see that the clothes are hanging on the clothesline by the clips. So that means it keeps them on during the wind. And the wind is blowing the clothes away. And the wind sweeps through the clothes, so it looks like the wind is trying it on. So Gilberto is talking about the wind like a person in this book. And wind loves umbrellas. Once, when I took one out in the rain, he tried to take it away from me. And when he couldn't, he broke it. So the wind was really strong. So here we see Gilberto has the umbrella out, and the wind pulled it back. The wind was trying to take it from Gilberto, and it broke the umbrella. Oh no! If the gate in the pasture is left unlatched, wind plays with that too. He opens it up, then bangs it shut, making it squeak and cry. Wind, oh wind, I say, and I go and climb on. Give me a ride! But with me on it, the gate is too heavy. Wind can't move it at all. So Gilberto weighs too much. He's too heavy, so the wind's not going to blow him like it can blow the gate. So Gilberto tries to stand on the gate so that he wanted the wind to give him a ride. But he weighed too much, so the wind couldn't move it. When the grass is tall in the meadow, Wind and I like to race. Wind runs ahead, then comes back and starts over. But he always wins, because he just runs over the top of the grass, and I have to run through it and touch the ground with my feet. So they're racing here. So here we see Gilberto running through the grass, but the wind can float on top of it. Gilberto has to run on the grass, and it makes it a little hard because the grass is so tall. See? When the big boys on the hill have kites to fly, Wind helps them out. Wind carries their kites way up to the sky and all around. So here we see Gilberto's over here. He's looking at all the kites that are floating up in the sky because wind is helping the other boys on the hill. But when I have a kite, wind won't fly it at all. He just drops it. Wind, oh wind, I say, I don't like you today. So Gilberto's over here. He's trying to fly his kite, but the wind won't help him get it up into the air. I wonder how he's feeling. I notice he's getting upset because we can see by his face that he's kind of looking frustrated. And we said that frustrated meant to feel angry or upset about not being able to do something. So I'm wondering if he's frustrated because wind won't help him fly his kite up in the air. When the apples are ripe in the fall, I run with wind to the pasture and wait under the tree. And wind always blows one down for me. So we said that ripe meant ready to eat. So when these apples are ripe, Gilberto asks the wind to help him to blow one down for him to eat. That means that these apples are ready to eat. They're good for our bodies to eat. It means they're not green. They're probably nice and red. And when I have a boat with a paper sail, wind comes and sails it for me, just as he sails big sailboats for sailors on the sea. So the wind, this is a sail, and the wind is moving the boat. It's pushing the boat because it probably doesn't weigh as much as Gilberto, because remember when he tried to go for a ride, it was too heavy. He was too heavy and the wind couldn't move him. And when I have a pinwheel, wind comes in place too. First, I blow it myself to show him how. Then I hold it out or hold it up, and wind blows it for me. And when he blows it, he turns it so fast that it whistles and sings. And all I can see is a blur. So remember that one of our vocab words was blur, which means something you cannot see clearly. So here we see Gilberto is spinning his pinwheel, and it's moving so fast that he can't see it, and it looks like a blur, which means he can't see it clearly. So see how it's spinning fast? It looks like a blur even to us because it's spinning so fast. Because this is what it would look like if they weren't spinning it or blowing on it. Wind likes my soap bubbles best of all. He can't make the bubbles. I have to do that. But he carries them way up into the air for the sun to color. Then he blows them back and makes me laugh when they burst in my eyes or on the back of my hand. So he's blowing bubbles. So Gilberto blows the bubbles and wind moves them away from him. And then the wind sends some of them back to Gilberto. When the leaves have fallen off the trees, I like to sweep them into a pile. But then wind comes along, and just to show that he can sweep without a broom, wind scatters the leaves all about again. And he blows the dirt in my face. So the wind is really strong. So here we see Gilberto. He's raking up the leaves into a nice, neat pile, but then the wind comes and blows them away and scatters them all throughout the yard. So Gilberto has to start all over again. I wonder how that makes him feel. That would make me feel pretty upset if I had just raked the yard and then the wind blew them all away and I had to do it again. Sometimes wind is so strong, he starts breaking the trees and knocking down fences. Then I'm afraid. I run in the house and lock the door. And when wind comes howling after me and tries to squeeze in through the keyhole, I tell him no. So we said that afraid meant to feel fear or be scared of something. So Gilberto he's afraid of the heavy wind. So he goes and he hides because the wind is knocking down the trees and knocking over the fences and it scares him. So he goes inside where he's safe. But then comes a day when wind is all tired out. Wind, I whisper, oh wind, where are you? Shh, 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 answers wind. And he stirs one dry leaf to show where he is. So I lay down beside him and we both go to sleep under the willow tree. So remember we said that whisper was to talk softly. So the wind was whispering to Gilberto and he's tired. So they're both going to sleep because we see the wind stop because the tree's not moving and the grass looks like it's not moving. And they're tired. They had a long day, so they go to sleep. The end.